Hi, I've made a short video about how to make klub, a delicious Norwegian dish. This I made at the request of my beautiful cousin Jackie. Hey Jackie, how's it going? I hope this helps you out. And I did this in collaboration with Lucinda Lee, who's responsible for the video. Part 1 is making the potato dumpling. So these are called either potato dumplings or klub. We've always just called it klub, but I think people who aren't Norwegian call them potato dumplings. The ingredients are pretty basic. You just need flour and potatoes. The number of potatoes will depend on how many servings you'd like to make and how many people are eating. A very large russet potato will probably serve 2 people one time. Your supplies are a large pot, a mixing bowl, mixing spoon, food processor, and potato peeler, as you see here. Step 1 is just heat up some water on high on your stove. And then peel your potatoes. Rinse the potatoes well. And then chop them up just enough so they fit well into your processor. You'll process the potatoes until they are into a very blended, complete mushy state. And then you'll pour this potato mush, as it's technically called, into a mixing bowl and add about 1 cup of flour per potato that you've mashed. You want the consistency to be very much like a dough. If it's too sticky, like in this picture, this video clip, it's sticking to the spoon or it's sticking to your hands, that means you don't have enough flour and you'll have to add a little bit more. I would suggest doing this just by spoonfuls so that you can be pretty cautious about how much you add and you don't overshoot that goal. If you find that your dough is crumbly, then that means you've added too much flour, and you'll need to counterbalance that by adding a little bit of water to get it back to a nice soft doughy stage. So in this video clip you can see that the dough is nice and soft, it's not sticky, it's not crumbly. I can work it very easily with my hands. And I'll just form it into ball shapes at this point because the dough is ready to be boiled. Then you'll place the balls of dough into your pot of boiling water. Make sure you have plenty of water in the pot. Over the time that these are cooking, a lot of the water will evaporate out, so keep an eye on it and just make sure that the balls of klub are always covered with water the whole time. Stir once in a while just to make sure they don't stick to the bottom and they're rotating in there and getting cooked well. You'll set your timer for about 45 minutes. It's a little bit of leeway here. If you cook them for a little bit less or a little bit more, it is not a big deal. They just always turn out great. Then you'll take the klub balls out of the boiling water once your timer goes off and place them into a strainer. And at this point, you can go ahead and eat them. The consistency will be soft and gooey, and a lot of people enjoy that. They'll add melted butter, salt and pepper, and ham, and eat it just like that. It is very good that way, but I'm going to go on to a part 2 where I'll teach you how to make it firmer and creamy in a fried fashion, which is the way we prefer eating it. So for that, what you'll do is place the balls of klub that have been cooked in the boiling water into the fridge and just let them sit overnight. So part 2 begins with frying the klub. You'll use about a tablespoon of butter in a frying pan, a little bit more if you're making a lot, and just let that melt. You'll chop the klub balls into bite-sized pieces and then pour those into the pan. Let that fry up until the pieces are golden around the edges, just like you see here. And then you'll add the evaporated milk. How much you add is really just to taste. You'll want it to be nice and creamy. And adding as much as I have in this video clip just means that I have plenty in there to allow for evaporation and for it to caramelize and thicken up. At this step, I also add in some chopped ham, which gives it some salt and just a really nice flavor. And that's about it. You just, pour it into your dish, add a little salt and pepper or other seasonings if you'd like, whatever your preference is. But it is absolutely delicious just like this. I hope that this has helped you, and thank you for watching.